Hey guys, what is up? This is The Dish with Trish. This is podcast episode number 7. It is the first podcast from my home studio. It is not completely done yet, so I hope the audio is okay. This is so fun. I wanted a home studio. I love Podcast One. They're obviously my podcast company. It's so much fun to have a podcast with them, but I decided to have a home studio just because I wanted like pink and fun, and I wanted my vibes all the way through. So I know if you're listening, you can't see it, but I'm telling you, it puts me in a better space. And I have all this audio equipment set up. We have 3 microphones. When Jordan gets back into town, he's not here. When Jordan gets back into town, we're going to test him out before we have our first guest, and we do have a confirmed first guest for December 10th. The podcast will be out December 10th, and it's a really, really exciting guest. So we're trying to get out all the bugs and all of that stuff, but hopefully it sounds okay. There'll be furniture and stuff in here, so it's just kind of a little hollow at the moment. But yeah, this is like some ASMR stuff. But hey guys, what's up? This is The Dish with Trish, and this is podcast episode number 7, I believe. Jordan is not here. He is on vacation. He's doing the family stuff. He wants to be around family around the holidays. Go figure. But you have me, and I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. I just celebrated. I have divorced parents, and my siblings are all grown up, so it's basically just me. My sister too, but like my brother has his own family, so it was like me visiting my dad, me visiting my mom on separate lunch and dinners, which is always really fun. No, it's really fun. I actually do like seeing them. We saw that Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks. Really, really good. I love Tom Hanks. I've had this idea for some time now. I have this book I wrote that I want to turn into a movie, which first I should probably publish the book. But I have this book idea. Okay, we're recording. Like, what if I'm not even recording this hour long of talking to myself? This book idea, I'll just say it. I never really said it because I always thought someone would like steal the plot, but I don't think anybody wants to steal this plot. So basically, it's called Daddy Dearest, and it's about a father who keeps his daughter in the basement to be his sex slave. But the twist is she becomes a zombie. Like, so what we don't know, okay, she becomes a zombie. I won't give away that. Did that give it away? It probably did. I don't know. If anyone has any interest in publishing this book or giving me a movie deal based off this book, I'll take it. I will take it. But yeah, it's like a zombie. It's like a sex 50 Shades of Grey turns zombie. It's kind of incestual, not based on any real life experiences or thoughts. It's just something that comes to me, and I had this book written for a minute. So but the reason I said all that is I always envisioned Tom Hanks to play my father. I always envisioned to play the girl. I think I'm a little too old now. I'm 31. So I think the girl would have to be quite young or look quite young. I think you have to be 18 now is like the rules. I think that's the rules. I don't know the rules. The rules of what? I guess the rules of being in movies. I know like Jodie Foster in Taxi Driver got in a lot of trouble because she was only like 13. So like she couldn't zip up Robert De Niro's pants. I think there's like a few of those incidences. I want to say Juliette Lewis and Cape Fear might have been the same situation. She might have been 18. I'm not sure. Sometimes they get 18-year-olds to look younger, like Winona Ryder in Great Balls of Fire. I talk about that all the time, but I love that movie. So maybe I think now they get 18 to look younger. I don't know. I probably would do that for my movie, but it was so weird to see because as I was watching Tom Hanks play Mr. Rogers, which I didn't know much about Mr. Rogers, the movie didn't get too in depth to Mr. Rogers. If anything, it just made him seem like a saint, which his wife in the movie had said she didn't want it to be a saint. She said saints are unattainable, that you have to work to be as nice as Mr. Rogers was. But you didn't get to know. I thought maybe we'd see the dark side of Mr. Rogers. You kind of got the dark side of a fictitious character, I believe. I believe the reporter was a fictitious character. I know it was based on a real article, but I believe his storylines might have been a fictitious. I don't know. It was pretty good. Would I recommend seeing it? There's probably better movies to see. Frozen 2. The Joker's really good. So that's kind of what we did on Thanksgiving. So much happening in the news that I wanted to comment on because we don't have Jordan here to give us an update and we don't have a guest, but we are going to start having guests. Like once this all comes together, this is my first audio tryout at home. So if this all sounds good, I'm sure I'll get some feedback, but if this all sounds good, then I think we'll be able to go forward and then Jordan will be here to test the 3 microphones at once and hopefully. Hey guys, and we're back. Sorry about that. I'm at home, so there's always some distractions, but, anyways, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in gossip, I suppose. One thing I wanted to talk about was Justin Timberlake holding hands with a woman other than his wife, Jessica Biel. I thought this was interesting because, I thought it was interesting because so many people were like, oh, they're just friends, they're coworkers. I think I'm the only one on the standpoint of like, I don't know, like I would be really pissed. I would be so pissed if I'd be pissed if my boyfriend or the guy I was dating was holding hands with someone. I have a New Year's Eve story. I've shared this before in video, but I'll go ahead and share it here on the podcast. Only because I've recently reconnected with this guy and he's super cool now. And he was at a different time in his life. He even like apologized, even though I should have been the one apologizing. We all should have been apologizing. It was a mess. But one New Year's Eve, I was dating somebody, but very, very casually. It definitely wasn't like we're exclusive or boyfriend, girlfriend. He did tell me he wasn't sleeping with anyone else and I wasn't either. So it was kind of, we were there. We were definitely at that point because this was over the holidays. We were together like every night. Like it definitely was that. And then he's like, and I had a big house at the time. So he's like, let's throw a New Year's Eve party. And so when it's like it was basically me because it was my house, but he did help. He brought alcohol and all that stuff. So he invited 200 friends. I invited like 10. So it was quite a crazy thing. But basically, long story short, I didn't see him most of the night, which was fine. This was the time when I was still really tight with my friend circle and whatever. And we're still close, but I mean, we were hanging out a lot more then. So it was kind of fine. I had karaoke. We had drinks. There were literally, he probably invited 200 people. There was literally like 500 people at my house. I was so overwhelmed. And especially because I had locks on my doors. I was only like, 28 or something at the time. So I was just very, very like overwhelmed. And then I didn't see him. And I think I actually introduced him as my boyfriend to someone. And I remember he kind of freaked. I mean, not out on me, not like verbally, not out loud, but he kind of like freaked a bit and then made me like, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Like maybe, trust me, I learned less. I never say that anymore unless it's like official. But, so anyways, long story short, like, New Year's Eve comes around. It's like, they're going to do a countdown soon. That countdown in a couple of minutes, he comes by to find me, which was really, really cool. I was like, okay, you know what? He's coming to find me because I told him I've had horrible New Year's Eves. Horrible. And 4th of July is horrible because basically I never get invited anywhere. I don't know if that's like me not wanting to do something. 4th of July just seems like the worst holiday ever. And I will take that back. This 4th of July, I was invited to my friend Joey Graceffa's house. And then I also went to Shane's 4th of July. Well, he didn't have a party, but he had like his family there and I was invited. So I did go out and it was actually a really good 4th of July. But historically, 4th of July's are really awful. I don't get invited anywhere. New Year's Eves are the worst. And I've always just had horrible, and my birthdays too. My birthdays are cursed. This is why I don't like holidays or big buildups. I only had one good birthday and that was my 30th birthday. And that was amazing. I had all my friends. I had my boyfriend. Like we went to Bora Bora the next day. It was really, really cool. All my other birthdays, shit shows. This New Year's Eve was a shit show. So I have always told him New Year's Eve is really bad. Like I've broken up on New Year's Eve. I've been cheated on because a lot of people break up on New Year's Eve or like the day after. And we actually did kind of quote unquote break up. He came over and was like, this isn't working. But countdown was happening. He comes over to find me. I thought that was really cool. I was like, okay, cool, because he knew about my history. Like I'm gonna get my kiss at midnight. Like I've never had that classic kiss. On Instagram, everyone starts posting like my Instagram kiss, like, oh, Happy New Year's, like bringing in the New Year's with this person. Even last year I had a boyfriend and I didn't get that kiss because he was all over the place. When I was with him, he was very much like, I need to be with my kids, which I totally understand. I totally get it. And I wasn't really invited. It was a whole thing. But anyways, now he's just, anyway, I'm sorry. Last episode was done. We're just going to say a boyfriend. We won't say specifically who, but, then when I was out of the picture, he just always is out on the holidays with his friends and Thanksgiving with his, friends. And anyways, I'm sorry. Okay, back on this guy. We have to focus on one douchebag at a time, Trish. he was in a different space in his life. We've already established that now. But he came over. My friend Angel, who's also my hairstylist, he knows him. Like he knew of him like just in movies he's been in and stuff. And he's like, oh my God, let's all take a picture. And I was like, okay. But like the countdown was like happening. This is like 5, 4, and we're taking the picture. He's looking and I'm looking because he's like, oh, I don't know. It kind of came out blurry. I still have the picture and it's like super blurry. You can't really see the guy that I was dating. And basically, I'm looking at the picture and they're 2, 1, and I turn around and this girl grabs my guy, my person I'm dating, and kisses him. And I freaked out. I literally told her to fuck off. I threw my drink, the liquids in my drink, not the actual glass. I threw my glass of wine in his face and it hit my wall. In my rented house. And yeah, I've never done that to anyone. It felt like a movie. I've never been more enraged because I've never seen someone like, at that point, up until that point, I hadn't seen anyone like physically cheat on me or like at least just kissing someone else when you kind of think you have something with someone. It really hurt me. I did see another one, someone, again, same situation. We weren't boyfriend, girlfriend, but like he was basically staying with me. We were basically only seeing each other. And, yeah, basically I ended up fighting him on my couch in my apartment that he paid no rent to with this girl. And I walked in, he introduced me as his sister. And I threw all his bags and belongings in the fountain 4 stories below. I was so bit. I wouldn't say they were fucking, but they were probably post-coitus. I was enraged. So those are the 2 times I've been highly enraged. All of that to say, Happy New Year's? No, I don't know why I said that. Well, I'm seeing this guy. Well, I'm not seeing him. We've gone on a few, I guess, days. I don't know. We're just like, we're those people that are always in each other's lives. And the chemistry isn't like amazing. So I think we both feel that, but like we both are kind of like single at the same time. So I think we're just like friends. Well, back to Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. I mean, that was a kiss, but hand holding is also like, hey, just like liking girls' photos on Instagram, you don't have to do that. It's not a part of who you are. It's not your individuality. It's not your independence. It's not me taking away a piece of who you are. Like, it's just gross. I don't know. That's for me. Some girls don't mind it. I do. Hand holding, you best believe. I mean, here's the thing too. They have kids. I get it too, because like I've stayed with cheaters. And I've stayed in relationships that I wasn't happy in or that I was uncomfortable in. And it's like, it's hard. You don't want to give up on someone. I guess it's just hand holding. I don't know. This is why I'm a crazy bitch and I'm single. But I thought it was interesting. The other one was Brad Pitt, my husband, Brad Pitt and this other girl, this actress. They said they were just friends, which is kind of like, I don't know, the whole thing's silly. It's like if they're dating, they're dating. But if they're friends, whatever. But I think I saw on Perez Hilton's podcast, he was talking, I didn't listen to it, but he was talking about something like, can men and women just be friends? And like, I've always been that person's like, no, like, but I think you can. I do. And that's like a maturity speaking, because I never used to think that. I'm like, oh, if you're friends with a pretty girl, you're fucking her. But I have friends. I have a lot of hot straight male friends. Not a lot, I'd say 2, that are really hot and good looking, and it would make sense that we would want to hook up, but like I have no desire to. So like I get that you can have no desire to hook up with someone. I used to be, when I was younger, I would just want to fuck anyone. But I think now it's like, okay, I get it. You can, I don't know, unless you're like a sex addict, which is totally real and valid. But I do think you can just be friends. Everyone was giving Keanu Reeves shit for his girlfriend. A lot of people were giving Brad Pitt shit for his new girlfriend. If this is a new girlfriend, she's, you know what? She's different. She's not Angelina Jolie. She's not Jennifer Aniston. But who is? Like, what girl's going to compare to that after those women? It's so hard. Just like Johnny Depp. I mean, Amber Heard, Kate Moss, Vanessa Paradis, I think her name is. Who would compare? I always think of myself. I put myself in these situations. My most recent celebrity crush is Michael Keaton. At the moment, I was like, oh, I would love to date Michael Keaton. I had Dennis Quaid earlier this year. I go through these phases, and they're all very handsome, hot men. And I was thinking, oh, but they were actually married to supermodels, so probably not me. But you never know. Then I saw this girl with Brad Pitt, and like I saw a little bit of me in her, in the sense of maybe we're not your classic beauty is like, wow, that girl is stunning, but she's beautiful. I truly do believe all females are attractive in their own ways. There is those drop dead gorgeous girls that are just stunning, that are just like sexy, beautiful, sophisticated, stunning. Like you cannot deny they're beautiful. Corinna from the Vlog Squad, stunning. Like you can't. I've had issues with her in the past, and like we don't talk, we don't follow each other anymore or anything like that. And then we've had good times too, where she's like reached out to me and she's been really sweet. But no matter what, you can't deny that that's a really attractive female. There's just certain females that are like, okay, she's freaking hot. And then there's some that are subjective, whatever. But you can look at Megan Fox, for instance. I know a lot of guys will be like, her thumbs. My guy friend that was here was like, her thumbs though. Really? Like, that's my grievances with guys. They just try and find something to pick apart because a woman can be so perfect and so beautiful, and like, well, but her thumbs. Fuck off with that. So I think you'd be friends, and also with Keanu Reeves dating someone age appropriate, like good for you. Yeah, she looks older than she is. She's actually only in her 40s, and she looks older. But even if he was dating someone in her 60s, he's in his 50s. Like it's totally fine. It's just funny. People are more shocked by someone dating someone their age than someone extremely young. I mean, I get why guys date younger, especially if they want children. If they don't want children, that's fucked. I'm always like, why are you dating someone younger than if you don't want children? Because chances are they're gonna want it. Or just date me because I'm infertile. I am. It's sad but true. But yeah, I've been obsessed with Michael Keaton. If you guys have any Michael Keaton suggestions, you'll have to let me know, because tweet me. I love him as Beetlejuice. It's so good. Beetlejuice is such a good film. Like I was obsessed with Fight Club last month. That was my movie of the month, and now it's Beetlejuice, and it's like a whole new obsession. It makes me giddy. He's so good. He's so good. Like, what a weird, odd script, and what a weird, odd character. And this is like a film, what is this? A film, what is this? I don't know what it's called. You guys know? Oh, film study, film analysis. A film analyst? I don't know. But it's such a good movie. Oh, it's just so bomb. I heard they were going to try and do sequels of it. I hope or a sequel of it. I hope they do. Michael Keaton is 68. Still looks so fucking hot. The last movie I saw him in was The Founder. I haven't seen many Michael Keaton movies. Jack Frost was on the other night and we watched it. So hot. But I saw The Founder. It was about the guy who, I guess he founded McDonald's, kind of. I mean, McDonald's was already an establishment when he found it. Roy Kroc, I think his name is. But then he basically found the McDonald's brothers, kind of bought them out, kind of swindled them, and then like made this, I guess, billions off McDonald's. I guess he's the one that started the franchises and stuff, anyways, the movie was interesting. I went with my dad. Just like Mr. Rogers, like all these movies I go with my dad, he likes them, so it makes me like them, but it's kind of like not my type of film. I like fucking in my films. Even though Beetlejuice, there's no fucking, although if there's a Beetlejuice porn out there, let me know. If there's not a Beetlejuice porn out there, let me know and I'll be down. I just think of sex with Michael Keaton as just, sorry, I'm trying to keep this PG, but just sex with Michael Keaton just seems freaky. Right? I think I mean, you would have to just think of being with Beetlejuice. I've been with some actors that I think of their, characters while I'm with them. Anyways, I love Michael Keaton. One final little story I feel like I haven't shared before. This is for all the people who love to say I can't stop talking about David and Jason segment. Well, I had this written down for ideas or for topics because, it is weird to do a podcast by yourself as much as I love to talk. Like, I guess I could talk about current events, but I started this podcast with the intention of having guests. I want to interview. Like, that's what I like to do. I like talking to people. I like talking to people who, this is the reason I date people in entertainment and stuff. I like talking to people who are doing stuff and movers and shakers. And I don't really consider myself to be a mover and shaker, but I find myself, I can be overtly interested. Like I would say obsessive with pop culture. So I really want to interview the people who make and drive pop culture. I like that I'm a little part of it on here on YouTube, but now that I'm doing podcasts, I've always wanted to get into, I was just talking to Shane Dawson the other day and he was just saying, I always knew you'd be like a female Howard Stern. I think once I get in the groove of it, I'd like to. I love how Howard has guests and also has characters on his show and has his co-host Robin. Like I love that dynamic because I really do thrive. I love doing stuff alone, like my YouTube, my OnlyFans, my Patreon. Like obviously I masturbate on there. I should probably be alone. But I really do thrive also in interview settings. Like I love being on podcasts. I love watching podcasts. Well, interviews. I mean, this is basically radio for 2019. So I'm kind of fulfilling my Wendy Williams, my Howard Stern. Like I do love talking. I could, especially with Jordan or with a guest, I could talk for hours. I just find people so fascinating and intriguing. But, well, I don't know, David and Jason, no, only because it has to do somewhat podcast related. And that was the time me and Jason tried to start our podcast. So this was interesting. So this was about 6 months into us dating. We had, I don't know, I'm not sure what the podcast company was, but a separate podcast company from his podcast. With David, Views, shout out, go listen to Views. It's a good podcast. But he's like, let's start a podcast. And something I've always wanted to do. And like, oh my God, yes, do it with my boyfriend. That makes me laugh. And we did our first episode. I mean, there's no way in hell I'd get it now. He probably doesn't even have it still, but we recorded like an hour and a half long podcast. And it was great. It was so good. We were telling stories. He told a story. Just to make sure you're still recording. Oh, I'm going to get a better setup right now. I'm like being strangled by my own headphones because I need an extender. So it's just all like a little thing. But no, we were recording and it went really good. It was at my house. It was like casual and I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. Because I love podcasting. Like I love this, like just this dynamic. I love hearing my own sound in my headphones, which is very narcissistic. But now that I have this, I'm going to just do all ASMR. This is the best. I love sounds. Like I love sounds like that. Okay. So anyways, when I'm recording my albums, I always hear them. But yeah, we did this podcast and we had this company that was like, yeah, after like 6 episodes, we can start doing guys ads. And Jason was excited about it and I was excited about it. And, I was asking, I was like, okay, so what's happening with the podcast? And he's like, yeah, David said no. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, David said no. Like, I can't do the podcast with you. I was like, this was the red flag. This was the foreshadowing. If we were a novel, if this was fictitious characters. And, I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of weird. Like, cause it's so different. The dynamic's different. I myself like have had a couple podcasts in the past. I don't know. I guess I was thinking about this, not specific. I was thinking about this. This was like on my mind because I was, starting this podcast. I'm really excited about it. And it's finally happening because I had the Dish with Trish, this actual podcast. I had this on SoundCloud years ago, just something, not through any company. I just posted it, made no money off of it. And it was such a cool setup. Like I had my house and it wasn't a great setup, but I had like a desk, like a late night talk show host, and I had microphones and it definitely wasn't like this setup. I have an amazing Jaime, shout out Jaime at Blackwood Studios, the guy who engineers. He's amazing. He's a Grammy Award winning engineer. He came and helped me set up all these microphones. So it's like really, really cool. And I think once we get the signage and I'm in front of pink stripes like Victoria's Secret, which is really cool. So it's going to give me a different vibe from our YouTube channel. So it's just cool. I'm happy and like everything happens for a reason, but, I remember thinking like, okay, but it's so different. Like it's not the same. I don't know. It was such a good dynamic too, because he was so personal and open on there. Anyways, I feel like most of the people who comment that I always talk about them are new to me. I talk about all my ex-boyfriends equally, even ones from 13 years ago, which I'm sure he'd rather I not talk about him. Even the guy that I threw the drink on at New Year's Eve, I have talked about him in a different scenario in the past that people have found him. And he's actually a good sport about it. He's like, yeah, people like will bring it up every couple of years, because every couple of years I'll bring him up. And he's a pretty good sport about everything. But I don't know. I talk about my past a lot. I reflect on my past a lot. I know, like, but here's the thing. When I find someone new, like this is weird because, okay, I'm single at the moment and I'm actually really okay being single. Like I am like happy. I'm like in a good space because I have so much going on. But it takes me finding a new relationship to not dwell on past relationships, not just boyfriends, but people I've hooked up with or dated. Because when I find someone new, and I guess this is true, when you're in love, you forget the hurt, you forget the pain of anyone else before them. However, when that person causes me pain, I always reflect on everyone. I'm like, oh my God, where did I go wrong? Why am I fucking up? It's a lot. It can be heavy. But yeah, I just do. And sometimes I think of these stories and I'm just like, oh, okay. So David Dobrik tried to stop me from having a podcast, but I'm Yeah, a lot of people, I don't read too many comments on the podcast. Sometimes I'll get tweets. A lot of people thought I was bitter in my last one. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm bitter. I'm sure I'm bitter. It doesn't stop me from wanting to keep going in my own pursuits and stuff. But I think there's always a little bitterness. And I always will have a little bitterness to people who have, in my eyes, I feel like kind of left me with no closure. And like I said, I don't blame people who leave me. People can leave whoever they want for a reason. I'm sure I've abandoned people that really cared about me. I probably have. And sometimes, and I do feel bad for it. So but yeah, everyone has their reasons, but I just, there's always going to be maybe a little resentment there. But yeah, I'm back on Bumble. Still not on Raya. Who was talking to me the other day? Someone was talking to me. Who was it? Oh, I won't say his name. Another YouTuber, and he wanted a friend referral. I was like, well, I had a friend referral from Jordan actually, and I still didn't get on. So, but anyways, it's the Christmas season is upon us. We are in December. We are weeks away from Christmas. It goes by so fast. Holidays can be sad. They can be sad. I love the holiday spirit. I love the build up to Christmas, but the actual holiday, I guess it's a day off. I guess that's how you could see it. It's a relaxing day off. And it's all pretty good. Pretty good in the hood. Yeah, but we haven't had there hasn't been a lot of YouTube scandal or drama recently, which I guess is a good thing. Drama who's it good for, really?